Okay, so far what we did, let me check. So we actually did all the basic Java fundamentals like data type, variables, comments, exception handling, creating method, creating class, creating so new project, package, everything, right? And object-oriented programming concept, there are 4 different types that we have to understand, part of automation and part of interview question, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction. So we already done these 3, and abstraction, we started just like basic theory, but we'll see abstraction, the practical part when I practice today. These are from last class. So all of them. So I will create new package today that will be abstraction. So now, so all of them, okay. Let me create another package for day 6 actually. Or maybe abstraction, okay, no. Okay. Let me go to abstraction. There are 2 types of abstraction, right? We saw 100% abstraction and we saw not 100% abstraction. Before going to that, anybody has any question from last class, like inheritance, polymorphism, this type of topic? And I'm just hoping that all of you are trying to read those fundamentals from W3 School, because W3 School has all of them with example, and you can also practice in the example there. So if you don't read now, you will face a lot of problem actually. This is part of required, either like this is your task or homework, you can say, or this is something that should be done from your side. We're not gonna check every single details that, okay, did you read this or this? So I will always remind you, and you're supposed to read. If you have any question after reading, after practicing, then you can always ask to the group and we can actually see that how to actually fix this or how to actually solve this. Otherwise, end of the day, like when automation practices start, you will face the difficulty actually. If you don't practice now, the Java basic, you will face difficulties when automation starts. So, okay, so now interface, I'll go interface abstraction. Okay, so last class we saw encapsulation, right? So now, and encapsulation, important one is get and set method. There is mechanism, get and set mechanism. So by set, you can go inside a private class and manipulate the data, and also by get, you can retrieve those data from the private class. That was the purpose of encapsulation. Now I said abstraction, right? What is abstraction? This is a data hiding process. Data hiding process means in the abstraction, there are 2 types: abstract class and interface. Interface also type of class, but interface has 100% abstract classes inside it. But abstract class may contain different type of methods inside. Like it can be 100%. Basically, it's not 100%, because if it is 100%, that will be named as interface. But anything less than 100%, it will be abstract class. So now there are some important concepts that you need for interview. First of all, what is abstraction? You have to know this basically for interview. The abstraction is a process of hiding the implementation details. So implementation details means, remember I said, this is a regular method, right? In the regular method, you will have a method name, then parenthesis, and after parenthesis, you have a body. Body means curly bracket. Curly bracket is a body. But in abstract method, you don't have a curly bracket body. So there is no body in the abstract method. This is an interview question, basically. So what is specific about abstraction? In abstract method does not have a body. And it ends with semicolon, but regular class does not end with semicolon because they have a curly bracket body and all the information inside the body. There are some other information also you have to remember for interview and just for basic understanding. It must be in the abstract class, right? It must be overridden. We will see this actually when we practice. So now what is an abstract class actually? So abstract class, right? Basically we'll have a word abstract. You see that this is a regular class name and this is an abstract class name. So all you have to do, just add a name as abstract. Then it will become an abstract class. So non-abstract class can't have an abstract method. So basically, whenever you have an abstract class, right, you will have at least one abstract method inside. But this is a non-abstract class, so it will have no abstract method. And what is abstract method? As you already know, you see that no body, just the parenthesis and semicolon. That was the one of the feature, right? Abstract has no body. And body means this curly bracket is the body actually. And you see this abstract class, right? Call is a regular method, but send message is a abstract method. Call is a regular method because call has a body, but send message does not have a body. We'll see this in the IntelliJ also. And there are two ways to achieve abstraction in Java. As I said, anything less than 100% will be abstract class. And if they have all of them abstract method inside it, that will be called as interface. So now what is interface? This can be an interview question actually. An interface is a collection of abstract method. As you see here, right? Interface. This is very similar to class actually, very similar to class. But all you have to, the differentiation is apps interface will have all the abstract method. Why do we need interface actually? There are two things, right? For fully abstraction, and this is the main part. Support multiple inheritance. Remember we said in the beginning of the inheritance class that multiple inheritance, right? 1-to-2 relationship cannot be supported by the word extends. To do that, you need the word implement, and implement only can be done through interface. You will see that in like maybe 5 minutes when I go to IntelliJ and then practice more. Now, declaring an interface. So interface, when you declare an interface, basically in IntelliJ, right, when you create it, you will have option with interface. There is option with class, right? You will have also option with interface. Now, if I go back, all of these example I will show in IntelliJ also. Now, what you see here, right? So you see that there is a method named it. And then there is another method is it, but there is some kind of modification there. So how they're modified, you will see this, but this picture probably will be confusing. When I practice, it will be more clear. Point to be noticed, okay? So Java compiler adds public and abstract keyword. So now, if you have, if you don't use the word abstract, it will be automatically assumed as abstract if you have all the abstract method inside. Okay, I think, okay, go there. The other one is actually, I'll show in the practice actually. So interfaces have the following properties. So this can be an interview question. What are the properties of interface? Each method in an interface is also implicitly abstract. So basically, if you declare a class as an interface, that means any method you write inside the interface will be automatically by default as abstract method. You don't have to write the word abstract. It will be automatically abstract. Method is an methods in an interface are public. So basically, you cannot use the word private inside an interface. Anytime you use the word interface, all the methods and all the variables, everything will be public, cannot be private. That means interface will not work side by side with encapsulation. Remember, encapsulation had private. So this one basically public. So a class can inherit from just one superclass. Superclass means parent class basically here, but can implement multiple interfaces. So this one basically is reminding you that interface will be working with 1 to 2 relationship. So now here you can see some, okay, let me, okay. Where is, okay. Okay. So this is little bigger. Okay. This one is a good relationship picture. Okay. You see this is the word extends, right? This is the word extends. So those are 1-to-1 relationship. So basically, one interface can use the word extend when it make a relationship with another interface. But whenever a class make a relationship with the interface, we always use implements. This is the word. Remember, we said after a class, just create a relationship with the word extends we saw earlier. But now when we use the interface as a parent, so when interface is a parent, we will be using the word implement. You will see that. But if parent and child both is in interface, then you can use extend because this is a 1-to-1 relationship. This one implement. Okay, so this one you see that parent interface parent means there is multiple, it's a group of parents, and class is a single class that will be implement. We'll see this. Those are some example of code. Why interface support multiple inheritance and class don't. This is an interview question actually. So basically, interface support multiple inheritance because it use the word implements, and when you use implements, then you can actually make a relationship and create a relationship with 1-to-2. Basically, you can create a 1-to-2 relationship. So your parent can be multiple parent, and class can be connected with implements with those multiple parents. And we'll see this. You see that this is a child, and these two are parents actually. and it is now connected. Multiple inheritance here. You see that? Interface B, interface C, and D is a child, and child is implementing B and C. Extend can only use one. Extend cannot use two, like B and C. You see that comma? Extends can only use only one, but not more than one. But interface, right? By using implements, you are using one C. If you have two more there, B, C, or F, P, you can use B, C, comma, F, comma, P. So as many as interfaces you can actually use as a parent, you have to just use the word implements. Now, how interface is different than a regular class? This can be an interview question also. So those interview questions, actually, those are sometimes asked, right? So sometimes they want to see if you understand the interface or not, if you understand the regular class or not, if you understand a project, if you understand a method, if you understand a variable. So they want to know if you have clear understanding about those topics. So you can't instantiate an interface. We'll see that later. Interface does not contain constructor. So also we saw constructor, right? Polymorphism. That polymorphism cannot be done with interface, basically. All the methods in interface are abstract. This is also we already covered. An interface can have instant variables. An interface can extend multiple interface, basically. Oh, so basically these are already covered, but we'll see in the practice session. The difference between interface and abstract class. Can only have abstract method. Basically, we already covered. This is just like nice way to write. It support multiple inheritance. It does not support multiple inheritance. Fully abstract, partially abstract. We already said fully means 100%, and this is less than 100%. Example, interface animal, and abstract class always have abstract, the word abstract. You see that both is similar to class, regular class. One is abstract class, one is interface, right? So when you create interface, you will choose the word interface. And when you create abstract class, you will basically write the word abstract. So these are all the theory, right? So now we will see something in IntelliJ. Now, let me create one package like interface demo one, maybe. Java package. So I will write interface demo one. So this is demo. Okay. Interface demo one. Okay. So inside the interface demo, I will actually explain similar concept. Remember, we had animals, animal, then dog. So all of these, okay. Okay, let me create a couple of interface, and let me create a couple of regular class also. Then we can probably see and compare how they work. Okay. Okay, so first, I will create a couple of classes that will have with no method, not main method actually. So what is that? First, I want to create one is animal. One is animal, and inside the animal, let me check. I'm just thinking which approach will be better. Okay, let me actually create okay. Create couple of classes. Two of them will be animal class interface, and two of them will be regular class to test. Okay. First one, I want to write animal. One is animal one. So you see that here, Java class. When you create Java class, inside the class, there are some other options. You see that class, regular class and interface. So for now, I will select the word interface one. And I will give some name. Any name I can give, for example, animal demo. So animal demo. So inside the animal demo, whenever I said this is an interface, right? That means anything inside the animal demo, all the method I will be writing will be abstract method. Remember I said earlier that interface are 100% abstraction. So anytime 100% abstraction means any method inside this animal demo will be also abstract method. And we also said that if you write any method inside this interface, even you don't write the word abstract, it will be automatically abstract method, because this method will not have any body. So first one, for example, I'm writing public. First method I'm writing public abstract. The word abstract, remember abstract, and then void. And I will write animal sound. One method is animal sound. So animal sound. And so if I write abstract method, what is the specification here? I will not have any body. So that means I will not have any curly bracket. Instead of curly bracket, I will just give a semicolon. So what does that mean? That means interface, right? Method with no body, right? You can clearly see this is an interface, and inside the interface this is an abstract method. So basically this is interface, but you should actually not interface. This is abstract method actually. This is abstract method with no body basically. So now I will write maybe two more methods. Now public void. Another method is maybe sleep. And same thing, nobody. So you see that I did not write abstract, right? But it is automatically abstract by default because you use the word interface here. Whenever you have interface as a class name, that means all the method inside will be by default abstract method. So if I write, for example, here, right? I did not write interface. So I'm giving somebody. You will see the red. You see that now is red because you are breaking the law now. So if you want to follow the law, that means interface cannot have a body with any method with body. So this is not 100% abstraction now. It is a partial abstraction. So now it will no longer be a interface. So nobody, right? Okay, I will create another maybe method, activity. So I'm writing public void activity and parentheses. So this interface animal demo has total of 3 abstract methods. Now I will create another interface, and another interface I can create as animal demo 2, maybe. Okay. I'm creating another interface, not package, Java class, but Java class inside Java class is interface. Actually, class usually start with uppercase. I'm just giving animal demo 2, just to make differentiate from the previous one. So I will actually, I will add one more method here. What method we used for animal demo? We used sleep, activity, and sound. Now I can add food preference is another one. So public void. Anytime you write a method, you can use the public void and the method name. So I said food preferences, right? Food preference. And that's it. I did not write abstract, right? But since I use the word interface, you don't need to write abstract. This is automatically abstract method. And it does not have a body, right? So now to test this, I will actually I will create a class, regular class. Now I will use multiple inheritance. Remember multiple inheritance? What is that multiple inheritance? Okay. Now I will see this one, multiple inheritance. So I will create another regular class, not interface. And inside the regular class, I will add multiple inheritance, something like that. You see that? So I created these two, right? You see that? I created these two, interface 1, interface 2, and then now I will create a child class. So my first two interface are two parent, for example, 1 parent, 2 parent. And now there is a child class. So this child class, for example, there is D, right? A D. So I said this is demo 1, this is demo 2, and this is a child class. So child class will be basically creating a relationship or will get inherited properties from these two parents through the word implement. You will see that now. Okay, going to IntelliJ again. So now, as I said, these two are two parent. Now I will create a child animal, right? Any animal you can write. I can write dog or cat, anything. I'm writing dog, for example. Java class. So now I will create a regular class, not interface, because this is a child now. So inside the child, you will create a relationship with these two parents. I can give a name as dog, right? Dogs are part of animal, right? Okay. So now, what I can do, I can just now, you see that, remember I said we have to use the word implements instead of extends. Now I'm doing that. Implement. And I will basically do these two implementation, right? One is animal. You see that automatically is coming whenever you write implement and then comma. And then another one is animal demo 2, right? So why this is red? This is another rules when you implement an interface. Okay, before explaining this, there was a word. You see that there's a first line, interface, okay. We already saw that, right? Interface does not contain constructor, okay, did not, okay, this one, okay, 1 second. You see that this one we saw so far. And now the red, because anytime you implement an interface, all the method inside the interface, all the method, for example, animal has 3 methods, animal demo has 1 method, right? Animal demo has 3 methods, animal demo 2 has 1 method. So since you extend these two interface, you have to make sure that you are using this total of 4 method here. If you don't use them here, you will see red. Once you use those 4 method here, you will see this red is gone. And now, so automatically, according to implements means inheritance, any properties from these two are here already. Now I am using these methods now. So in abstract method, you did not have a body, but when you use those abstract method in a child class, you have to add those body now. Now I will use those method and add the body inside the child class. How can I do that? Now see that public void, so public, you see that whenever I write public, right, all of them are available here. All of them interface method, remember, all of them interface 4 methods are now here. So you can select any of these. So if I see animal sound, right, this is available because you use the word implements. If you don't use the word implements, you never have access there. Just for example, animal sound. And also, you can see this method will be exactly like method overriding. This is method overriding. So basically this method from parent, you are changing this method, right? You got something, for example, you got a land from your parent, just a land, there is no house. You got a land. Now child use those land and adding a house here or adding a room or building something. So this is called method overriding. So you can use at override, or you can if you just delete it, still it will work. So this is an example of method overriding also. So now I am basically adding the body here. In the original parent, right? Animal sound, nobody, just the name, just the method. Now I'm adding body. So I can say system, anything you can write. Like for example, now I'm just using system dot out, right? Dot println. So, okay. So now you can write anything here. I can write, so sound, right? Okay, I can write something in the quotation, right? Dogs are barking, for example. I'm just writing something just to show you if this method is working or not. So this is method. Now I added the body. So now you will see this one is used, right? So now I will use other three also here. So this one is done. Now I will use another one. Public, you see that? So we used sound. Now I can use sleep, right? So same thing, I can write something like that. And just changing a little bit. So I can say dogs are always awake when nobody is at home, for example. Nobody at home. I'm just writing something just to show you that if this method is working. So this is one, and now I can use another one. Actually, so I can use next one. Same thing, public. So now you used animal sound, sleep, and now activities. So I can just write something else, right? Here. Dogs are running here and there, just writing something. And next one, I have one more method. So if I use one more method, you will see. Okay, so now these three I already used, right? Once I use all of them, you will see this related problem will be gone also. You see this related problem will be gone. So now public, there is a food preference, right? Remember the last one had food preference. So you see that you already see there is no more red because I used all the methods, abstract method, all the red is gone already. So that means anytime you use any interface, you have to make sure that the methods are used here. Basically, you are adding the body for these methods, abstract methods actually. So I can say dog loves meat. Okay, so this is a child class. So child class have all the method from two parents actually. You see that no more red, all the red's gone. There was issue here, there was issue here. So that means they are gone. So now if you just comment out one, just one, you will see this, all of this red will come back. All of this red come back. You see this, all of this red come back. all of this did come back just for one comment out, because you're supposed to make sure all the methods from abstract classes and inside the interfaces are used here. In these parent classes, there was no body. Now in the child classes, you have body. So now I want to make sure that, okay, this abstract class and those interfaces are working. How I can use this? So making sure, okay, test abstract demo one. I'm just creating another test one that I will use main method now, because I want to check this, right? If it is working. I can create another class, like test class. Test interface demo. Test interface, okay. Test interface. Maybe one. I will show maybe another example of interface. So now you have to just write this line, right? Public static void. So remember, whenever you want to test if everything is working and you want to see something here, all you have to do, always start with main method, right? Inside the main method, now I will write something. Basically, I will write something, right? So now I want to create some math. I want to test this dog class. I want to create some of these dogs objects. So what is the formula we have to use there? Can somebody tell me from last 2-3 classes? Creating object from dog. Can somebody tell me about, I can see, can somebody tell me to create an object, what I have to do?
Class name, then object name, new, and again class name.
That's true, but which class name I will be using?
So as for the,
okay, so I am creating a dogs is the class name, right?
well, dogs, yeah, it will be
Yeah,
dogs.
so dogs, then any reference variable, you can give any name, right? So dogs,
Yeah.
the class name. Dogs, you see that dogs, and then you can say dog one. If you create multiple dog, you can say dog one or D1. I can say dog one. Okay. Equal to new, right? The word new.
Yeah.
New dogs. You see that?
Yes.
So basically, this is create a dog object. Basically, you are creating a dog object. Creating a dog object. Now, I want to use these dogs, all of these methods. And I want to see all of this working correctly or not. All I have to do, just write dog one dot. See that dot? Now you can use all of this, any of this, animal sound, same thing, dog one, right? You don't have to write anything, just you have to call them. Since you created their object, so you can call all of these properties from this dog class. What is that? Next one, probably sleep, right? Sleep or anything. You don't have to just do this in order. So same thing, dog one dot activities, maybe, right? Dog one, right? Dot food preference, right? So we already actually created one dog and want to make sure that, okay, all of this interface as a parent interface and one child class is working together or not, right? So if I run this, my expectation will be I supposed to see all of this here. It is working. You see that all of them are working. So your original parent class, right, means interfaces had no body, but now you can actually see all of them has body in the child class. So this is the concept. Basically, in interface, none of the methods have actually body. A child class, you just add those body actually when you actually create a relationship with the word implement. So now you can do same thing, create another dog. All you have to do, this is red because you cannot use exactly same name, just dog2. And all of this, just create dog2. You see that? Now if you just, so you can actually write, okay, you can write one more thing. Okay, here I can write, just to make sure that there is a gap. Okay, I just want to make sure there is a system.out println. Second. Plus interface. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm doing all the override here. Okay. I am actually moving this. Okay. I'm moving this here. Here I'm just writing, okay, that dog2 details. So same thing. dog1 details. Just making a just relationship. And I want to just have a gap between these two dog. All I have to do just give a blank space. This is just a blank space that will create a just space. That's it. So now if I run these, you will see two group of information. One is dog1, one is dog2. You see that now it looks a little better. Dog1 details, dog2 details. Actually, I gave dog2 in the wrong space. It should be after the space, not before the space. Sometimes in QA, right, you will see this type of defect. This can be a defect actually, because in your description, in your mockup screen, right, you see that, okay, after the title, there is a gap, not before the title. So that means this is a UI validation. If you see there is no gap here, you see that I should have a gap between these two, not here. So now you will log this defect, take the screenshot and send to the development team. They will just fix this code in a second and they will deploy it. So now if I run this, you will see this gap. This gap will be removed. There will be gap here actually. I did not change it, I think. Oh, I did not change it. Come on, X. So I should do this now. Okay. So this gap does not matter actually. This gap is, this is just, this gap actually. Okay. So all I was just wanted to say this gap, if even I make like this type of gap, 100 lines, it will not create any difference here. This is just like looking nice. Now looks much better actually. You see that dog 1 details, dog 2 details. So if you want to just create another one, dog 3, still same thing, right? All you have to do, just add 3, right? So as many as possible you can add. It's no actual restriction depending on your test cases. So now you need a gap here. All you have to do, just after that, there is a gap. And now you're saying dog number 3, just, you can just add a line here. You can just add a line here. Dog number 3. And this S was actually, I did not copy maybe S, just, that's it. So if you run this, you will see instead of 2 dog, there will be 3 dog. You see that? So this is actually interface and abstraction that you are using it. So maybe I will show you another interface, maybe. Oh, okay. So maybe another interface that I showed you in this picture. Let me. So remember, there is a banking. There was a banking. So there are 2. Okay. I will actually show you. There is a picture. Where is that? Okay, here, right? So I will actually create another example that is kind of banking domain. Similar way, I will create some interface, and inside the interface, I will create few abstract method, and then I will create a child class. And inside that child class, I will use those abstract methods from those interface. That's a little bit different because okay, let me, okay, yeah, create this first. This one is interface demo 1, so I will create another package called interface demo 2. Just close this. Just close all of them, maybe. Okay. Package interface demo 2. So inside the interface demo 2, as I said, similarly, I will create two abstract, two interfaces, basically. Let me, okay, let me create two interfaces first, actually. Java class. Okay. First one will be regular interface, not regular class. And I have to give some banking name. What is that? Okay. Okay, I can give one of them is banking, another is domain. Okay, so let me give one of them is domain client. So domain client is one of my class name, and this is actually interface class. And inside this domain client, I am just writing maybe one abstract method. An abstract method, as you know, will have no body. Public void domain client, maybe investment. And parenthesis and semicolon, no curly bracket because no body. So this is domain client. So now I will create another banking client. New Java class interface. This will be banking client. And here, similarly, like before one, I will create maybe 3 or 4 different method. And those method will be abstract method because those method will have no body. Okay, the first one, public. Well, actually, I can just, okay, you can just copy this and change the name. Right. Okay, so basically, if you don't write abstract, it's still okay. So instead of animal sound, I will give something pay credit card, maybe. Right? There's a method called pay credit card, for example. So pay credit card is one method. Next method will be maybe transfer balance. When you log into some banking account, right? You do this type of thing. You pay credit card, you transfer balance, sometimes checking balance, right? Transfer balance. Okay. Okay, transfer balance. And third one is checking balance. Checking balance, maybe. So total 3 method in banking client, and domain client has just close it, and domain client has 1 method, investment. So now I will create one more class, regular class, and that regular class will have for example, basically it will implement these two. And how it will implement, let me check. Now you can do 2 things. You can create one single class, and inside that you can implement, and also you can test it, like public static void. Also, you can actually create a separate class for test class. So I am just following the previous one for now, similar way, and then I will create a test class. So first one, child domain, for example, child client or child domain. I'm just writing a child one now. This one, okay. New. So now it will be regular class. It will be regular class. I'm just writing child client maybe, because these two, domain and banking, they are parent, and now just child client. Okay. So everybody is understanding the relationship here, actually what I'm doing. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. If you don't understand the relationship, how I am just creating relationship, please let me know. Actually, I'll explain more maybe. Okay, child client is the child one. So basically, this child will be using these two parents, and using means basically create relationship with the word not extend, implement. Extend was for one single parent. Now we are using multiple parents, right? Now I can use the word implement. And implements, I'm doing these two, right? Domain client and banking client. The domain client, then comma, then banking client. So these are two parents. As I said, this will be always read until we use all of these methods. And basically, use means we have to add the body inside this method. So first one, basically, you can, okay, if you use the banking client, for example, pay credit card, if you just write public, you will see pay credit card, for example. Now, I'm just first I'm just calling them, using them so that all the red will be gone. Next one will be public, then transfer balance. I will add the body details later. I already added the body. You see that curly bracket means already body is here. Public checking balance, right? And the fourth one will be investment, right? Okay, so these four, I already used the body, and you see there is no more red, no more red, no more red. All the reds are gone. Now you can write any codes inside this body. For example, all you have to do, just public static something, right? Anything you can write here. Inside the child. Actually, I can add any line here inside this parenthesis. Okay, so I can just say, okay, simply just to understand, pay credit card method is implemented. Just simply, I'm just writing, okay. Just all of them I'll just copy. Pay credit card method implemented, then pay transfer balance method implemented, something like that. So this credit card, I can say pay. Oh. transfer balance. And similar way, checking balance method. Number 4, I can say investment, right? Investment method is complicated or implemented actually. So now you can actually add more stuff if you want to add. Now I am adding one more method maybe after you are done everything, right? You have to perform one of the method. Always you perform as part of security, you log out, right? So I can say another method as logout, and I can also create another method as login, right? So if I say logout and login, I can write two separate method also for this. You can say public void. I can write a method name as login, and inside the login, since this is a regular method, I have body. Inside the body, I can say, okay, user logs in successfully. For example, this is my line. In real automation practice, you will do exactly same thing. You will be logging in some application. You will do some testing with Selenium or some other automation tool, and then you will log out and make sure all of these steps are actually done correctly or not. Done correctly means you will be comparing expected versus actual, right? Your requirement and your expectation from the requirement details. Okay, user logs in successfully. This is your one line, for example. Success is double S, I think. Okay, yeah. And there is, okay. I want to actually, I want to write this inside the public static. Okay, I want to display that this is done or not. So I will write system dot actually here also. System dot out dot println. I will just write. So this is good. So I want to see this if user actually logged in successfully or not. Similar way, end of this code, I will be writing another one, user logged out successfully.
So we are adding 2 more method here.
Yeah, you can add 100 methods if you want.
So
I'm saying
it will be based on the requirement or something?
It based on the requirement, based on the application, what you are testing, based on your test case actually, not the requirement, based on your test case.
Okay.
So these 4 method, right, that you had, that was mandatory, because if you don't use those 4 method, it will give you error, red, because those part of your abstract method, right? This abstract method did not have any body. So in the child, you added the body actually. So now, in addition, you just added 2 other methods. So this is logged in logged out. So okay, user logged out successfully. Okay. So now if you run this, if you want to run this, if you want to check here, what you have to do? Can somebody tell me what you have to do? You have to create a similar, you see that test, you have to create an object for child and run it under public static void main. So here you cannot run it, right? Because you don't have public static void main here. You can run directly from here, but all you have to do you have to just add, I can add here public static void main right now, actually. In the same class. You can add in the same class, but if you want to add in the separate class, then you have to create an object. So this is the difference. If you want to run all of this inside the same class, you don't have to create an object. But if you want to run outside of the class, you have to create object actually. Actually, yeah. Oh, actually, okay, no, you have to create object anyway, actually. Either inside or outside. I'm creating the first outside, then I will show you inside also. Let me create a test class. So I'm saying test interface 2 or child client, test child client actually. New class. Test child client. So this is your basically. So all you have to do, just first you have to create an object. To create object, always start with your child name, right? Child client. I can say child 1 or C1, does not matter. Or any name you can give. Equal to new, right? Now, all you have to do, just child 1 dot all the methods. You have to just give all the methods. So I'm just, so which one is the first one? Maybe credit card, right? Pay credit card maybe. Next one, transfer balance, right? Then checking balance. Then maybe investment. So before that, what I can do? Dot login maybe, right? You always have to log in first, right? And then log out. So if you run this, you're supposed to see the information nicely here, right? You see that all of this nice information here. First user, this is, for example, this is your test case, exactly test case, what you are doing. First, you are successfully logged in, then checking one screen, then checking another screen, then checking another screen or activities, checking another one, and then logged out successfully. All you have to do through automation, you have to make sure that the result is same as actual or not. Actual, this is actual, and you have your requirement as expected. So through automation, you will be making sure, okay, expected equal to actual. And if you are not using automation, you have to check a manual process like your eyes, right? Or some simple document. So this is actually interface when you are creating a test class. So now I said I can actually use exactly same thing inside the child class also. If I use the same thing inside the child class, I don't have to actually use a separate test class. All I have to do just write and copy. I just use this. So let me check if I run this, it is working or not. It is also working. You see that I created a test class to just make it separate. But if you decide, okay, I don't want to create a new class, I want to use the main method inside the child class, still okay. You see that all of this method in the bottom, all you need to check main method. Remember main method, without main method, you cannot run it. To run any Java code, you need a main method. So this is actually all about interface, abstraction, and multiple inheritance. This is multiple inheritance, basically. In the child class, you are implementing multiple parents, basically. In the original inheritance, you see that in the original inheritance, we never used actually two parents. We never used two parents. If you see, this is, for example, animal, right? And then from animal, we created bird, we created fish, we created reptile. But every time it was a single inheritance. This is that extend one parent, fish, extend one parent, reptile, extend one parent. Anything you see that child parents, child, extend one parent. Always we used only one parent. We never used two parent actually. But through interface, you used two parent because this is a multiple inheritance. So everybody understood the concept of inheritance and how actually inheritance works with interface, and what is interface and what is abstract method and how they work basically together. So basically you see this everything. So interface will be basically explaining everything, right? How you are using inheritance, how you are creating a object, how you are calling a method, how you are creating a method, how you are creating abstract method. Basically how you are doing polymorphism like override. You see that override? All of them actually summarizing in interface. So interface will be very, very important for your interview and for your automation work when you do this. So this is actually all about your Java. You probably don't need any more Java actually for in the future, but you will be using those concepts for automation practice. So anybody need any explanation for any of this topic? Again, you can tell me. I'll go over. Otherwise, this is all about actually Java. Now this Java will be used during the automation practice. So this is all the concepts. So far, all the concepts you have learned. So all the concepts are here, right? This is all the concepts. And I always recommend go to your actually W3 school. Go to W3 school, Java. This is very, very actually important because if you read you will probably understand. And then if you practice, you will be actually more clear about the concept. Only readings maybe 30%. When you practice with this reading, it will be like kind of 100% of your understanding. If you don't have IntelliJ, you can still practice here. Try yourself, right? Try yourself will open a IntelliJ-like IDE. So you can practice here also. You can change, you can see interface here also, right? You see that inheritance, polymorphism, interface, right? I used a lot of their examples. Any practice I did here, maybe 50% example came from this W3 school. 50% of my practice examples are from W3 schools actually, because they're very easy to understand. Definitely, sometimes it is challenging because this is a brand new topic. Java is a brand new subject for most of you, if you are not from IT background. But if you just read carefully, learn carefully, practice more, you will probably understand all of this. That all you need actually for your interview and also for your work. Interface, you can see their interface, right? You see that I use their example, animal sound, another thing. So probably you can see that, and they use the word pig, I use the word maybe dogs, all the difference, but the concept is same. I use their concept actually. So that's highly recommended. Just read all of this topic slowly and carefully, actually, not like watching TV and reading a little bit, not like this. Just seriously read it. And if you don't understand any of this topic, you can always ask through our WhatsApp channel, and we can actually sit one-to-one. So anybody has any question on the topic we covered so far?
Bhaiya, I have one problem, like I don't understand return value.
Okay.
I watch our recorded class, but it is
Okay.
very confusing. I did not understand that concept.
Okay, so one thing I can do, there are some nice YouTube videos, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes videos with a lot of good example. I can share those. At the same time, I can review this little bit here also now. Okay. Just type maybe some new blog. Returns in Java. So if you just, okay, there are a couple of return in Java. Okay, just going to a couple of them. Okay, so what is actually return? So basically return is a keyword, right? It is a keyword. It is used to exit from the method. So basically by using the word return, you will be exiting from the method. So this method you will be using, and that will be just exit with or without a value. So return will give you either a value or no value. But if you use the return, basically you are moving from you are just basically exiting from this method. So this is one of the concept, right? So, but there is two things can happen, right? One is a method can return a value, and another is method is not returning value. So even though you are just using the word return, method may or may not give you the value, right? So when you use returning the value, there is case number one. right? Okay, so now I am actually, okay. Let me copy this to my IntelliJ and then explain a little bit more maybe. So I'm just creating a new, just a class. Turn two. So I just copied, right? I'm just pasting this. Okay, so I just paste exactly the one. Okay, there is 2 curly bracket. That's why is okay. Okay, so now everybody can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what they actually said. So this is return demo 2 class. And now there is a method. There is a method and there is a main method. So this main method will basically return some value, but you can actually create a main method as a test method also. Similarly, this can be created as a separate class. So they are using in the same class. So I'm also just showing this same class. So what it actually says, method 1, since return type of our method is double, right? So this is a double. So this one is RR, right? So you can give anything. They give RR. This is a variable actually, right? So you can give D1 maybe. I'm giving D1 instead of RR. I'm giving D1. So double A, double B. This is a method. And double is return type. And this is your signature, means this is a parameter. Remember parameterized method we said. And inside the parameterized method, you gave 2 different type of variable. One is A, one is B, and this is parameter. Basically, this method can hold 2 types of number. And this number double means you can have decimal point something, right? Now, there is another variable, sum equal to 0. So the sum, it's already given as 0. Now it says sum equal to A plus B. So why sum equal to, this is just like, this is a fixed number they give. Sum is just a number. So here it says sum A plus B divided by 2. So this is another variable. It says this sum can be written as A plus B divided by 2. So now any number you give here, it will be calculated here and it will be give you as a return value. So basically this one will be used for this when a customer or a user will give some number. For example, you went to some website and some screen, you are giving 5.5 and 6.5 in 2 field. So this will be actually connected with this return, and this return will be just using this formula. So you created a formula actually. Now there is another method is public static void main. So inside the main method, all I am doing, I am just giving 2 variable. Let me check what they did. Let me check 1 second. So this one, right? So this is a main method. It says main driver method. And now print statement. So here it is read because this GFG, right, was their class name. But I did not use the GFG, right? I actually created something else. My class name is return demo 2. So you see that they actually, so this is another actually is a good one. This is a shortcut actually. This is another shortcut. So instead of creating the object first, it is initiating the object inside the print method. So if I change GFG as return demo 2, this red will be gone actually. You see that? And this RR, right? I actually gave as a D1. You see that D1? So this part so far, you understood, whoever asked the question? So what you are doing here? So dot, before dot, basically this is a new, the creating an object from this. This is a shortcut actually. If you don't like this, you can actually create the object also. For example, I want to create an object first, and then instead of writing this, I will write those object. For example, return demo. Okay, so this return demo R1, for example, equal to new return demo. So now I'm not using their. So all I'm doing, instead of this, I'm just writing as R1 dot. So you understood, you can write this or you can write this. If you write this, you have to create an object. You can see this, the difference here.
Yes.
This is a shortcut actually. If you don't understand this shortcut, you can just simply create an object and give R1 dot D1. So D1 is a method. D1 is this parameterized method. Remember we gave parameterized method earlier?
Yes.
So this parameterized method will take two values, and this is the two values. And this is the formula you also created, that sum this plus this divided by 2. So this 12 divided by 2 will be 6, right? If you run this, you'll see the answer is 6. Now, if you just give here as a 4, you will see answer is 3 maybe, right? 12 divided by 4 is 3. So this is basically returning some values. So this return is representing actually this system.println. And at the same time, by using this return, you are actually exiting this method also. So this is actually providing you the value. Now there is another option, they said it is not providing the value. The second option, right? You see there is method returning the value, and there is another option, case method not returning the value. So this is the second option. Where is that second option? Okay, is here. Methods with void return type. So when you use void, anytime you use void, that means you are not getting any value as a output. So output will not give you any value basically. So same thing I can create. Okay, so basically I can copy same thing again, and okay, I can actually just copy something and take it to IntelliJ. So since they gave the name as GFG, I will give also GFG maybe. So new Java class GFG, right? So can
So
give
it has two methods, right?
oh, what are you saying?
So it has two methods.
So this one has two methods. Yes.
So this is the reason I got confused, because when I tried
Even though this one has two methods, actually, the second method is nothing but the main method, the test method, actually.
Okay.
Second method is the main test method, actually. The first method is the return method, actually. So if you see this, right, this is actually if-else statement. Remember the loop, if-else, they use the if-else statement. So if I run this, for example, so progress executed successfully, but it did not give any return because you use the word void. Anytime you use the word void, this method will not return anything. This is the concept. If you see return demo 1, right? You never use the word void. You see that here?
Yes.
And whenever you use the word void, you don't give the data type also. You see that the word void used, you give the name, but no data type. Earlier, our domain testing, right? We used a lot of void because you are not returning any data here. That's why you always use the void. But whenever you want to do some calculation and want to see some number, you usually give the return because you want to see some, if you want to, if your purpose is to calculate some logic, to do some math, you will be using the word return. But if you are not using, basically you are not, the purpose is not returning some numbers or anything, then use the word void. But you don't have to worry about anything much because when you do automation practice, probably it will be more clear to you that real test cases, real example, you will see that time. But if you have like high level idea now, for example, if you don't understand like 100% something, you can wait until automation practice with the real example. So this is a good example for return. Actually, you will see most something like that. Like for example, parameterized method, like calculators, right? The calculators works like this. So you will give some values, you will calculate some number, and it will return you some values. Like for example, calculator. So this is return. Any other question from anybody else? Okay, so basically next class is Sunday. We'll be off because of Labor Day weekend. So we'll meet again on next Wednesday. A week from
I have a question. How many more class we might do for the Java?
Oh,
Like-
Java, we are done for Java today.
Today is the last class, right?
Yeah, so Java, all the Java basics are done. So now
Okay.
you have automation practice, and then you have database testing, different type of testing now.
Okay. So basically today was the last class for
Yeah,
Java.
So
This Sunday is off.
yeah, this
Alright.
Sunday we will have no class.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question from anybody else?
So I have one question. So
Sure.
in the beginning of the course, you told us you will give us the Udemy password or something for us, accessing another courses like Java. or
Yes,
something
yes.
like that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll actually provide Udemy password
Yeah.
to each of you separately. So I thought Mohsin was supposed to send you. So nobody got the Udemy password and user ID and password?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. So basically, let me share. Okay, let me share that what will be Udemy actually. So okay. So we will have a lot of courses inside the Udemy. This is actually okay. There is actually another one. Okay. I will share this document, those credentials with you. So for example, this is our Udemy courses here, right? So you will go to My Learning, and all of these courses, we already bought it for the students, right? So you can go to any of these course. For example, if you search here, Java, you will see a lot of Java for beginner, Java programming, introduction to Java. For example, if you go to Java for complete beginners, you will see these courses, right? These are courses, a lot of courses there. So similar way, actually, when you start automation testing, so these are some automation courses actually. Even these automation courses, you can just start one of these automation course, for example, and inside the automation course, right? I'm not opening it. So end of the course, you will always have Java with the details. Java with the details. Let me check. You see that core Java tutorial part 2, core Java tutorial part 1. These two, right? 33, 34, 35. For example, those are your Java concept that I already covered. Section 34, 35, and 36. No, yeah, 33, 34, and 35. These three already covered last, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. So I will share this Udemy user ID and password with you guys after talking to Mohsin Bhai. So anybody did not talk to Mohsin Bhai yet?
Nope.
So anybody did talk with him?
I did.
Only one person. So anybody got any text from him actually?
No.
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 Okay. So I will talk to him. Okay. So he's supposed to give you this credential after, I think, talking to you. Okay. So I will talk to him actually. Okay. So I'll share this, and hopefully you'll study the, what is that, W3 school and practice accordingly. And see you next Wednesday, so all of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
I have a question. Is there
Sure.
any homework pending?
Homework, I think, is not pending, but I will give a homework like for on Java actually. Just quizzes. Those quizzes mostly will be like interview question that you need those quizzes anyway for interview in the future.
But this Java one you already gave, right?
Java 1, I gave maybe one at the beginning, but the detail last couple of classes, I didn't give any homework or
Yes.
quiz
Okay.
actually.
I just want to make sure that did you give any, despite the one which you have already given?
Yeah. No, I will give one quiz for Java.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
So, Bhaiya, we had 5 homework from the beginning of our class till now. So I submitted all of those. Did you get this? Because I didn't know.
I actually got all of your homework actually. I got all of your homework.
Okay.
Yeah. I got whoever submitted, I got all of them actually.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.